Hello, welcome to the Battling Barrow. My name's Kev, and in this we're going to look at or not just a lot of terrain products from Ziterdes, which is a German company, and I believe it's part of NOC, which I use a lot of NOC products for terrain building, as NOC is a sort of model railway company, and Ziterdes is aimed at wargamers and RPGers, which is all perfect for this channel. So I was contacted by someone from Ziterdes asking me to if I'd like to look at some of their products, and I jumped at the chance because I, as I mentioned, am a big fan of NOC and Ziterdes as it is. I'm going to stop saying Ziterdes. I don't think I'm pronouncing it correct, not being a German speaker. But I was already used some of their products already. One of the pieces I bought a few years back and loved is the Watchtower, which, if as a Middle-earth SPG player, this looks starkly similar to a famous watchtower on a hill or on top of a weathery hill. I've also got some I've bought some ruins from them before, and I think down here I've got some water droplets. So anyway, I was contacted with them, so I said yes because I already know their products and jumped at the chance. I should point out at this stage, this is, I don't know if you could call it it's not a paid for video. I'm not getting paid for this as such. The products we're going to be looking at today, I've got to send back. They're not mine to keep. I've been sent sort of review copied, and I've got to send them all back. That's why I've got so much. But they also did kindly send me two other products, which we'll look at in a follow-up video, probably next week, which I was allowed to keep, which is really kind of them. But yeah, and the parcel arrived, and even when I tried to fit it all on my desk to get some sort of unboxing, there was so much here I couldn't fit it on, so this is going to be a really long video because I feel I've got to have to do them proud, hopefully get you excited. And speaking of which, not only did they send me this stuff to review, but they've given me an offer code which we'll talk about later on in the video. So if you are interested in this stuff, you can get it for even cheaper than what it already is. It's not expensive, this stuff. So we'll cover that later on in the video, but let's get enough of my waffling. Let's get on and have a look at this product. I keep looking down here because the box is down here, and I'm keep like, I just want to delve in. It's like a kid at Christmas. Most of the products they sent at me are out of the packet because they're pre-painted and flocked, so we can really have a good look at them. But they did send me a little test piece that is, so I can show you what it looks like all packaged up. You get this lovely artwork, which just is great. Lots of, I don't know, undead warriors. Brilliant. Ziterdes, create your own adventure. This is what it looks like. Yeah, you can see they've got the NOC logo there. Dunkelstadt dungeon module, and this is a Fell Centaur, which I'm probably butchering the German language. So it's Dunkelstadt dungeon module rock gate, base height 20 millimeters. So I'm guessing that's this here, the thickness here, which we'll have a look at. I think the reason they sent me this is, one, so you can have a look at what it's like packaged, but I can put paint on this myself. I'm allowed to paint this and open it and paint it, just to show you how it takes paint. So we're going to open this, have a look at I'll get some paint on it. I won't show a whole painting guide because I'll paint that and then we'll come back to it at the end once I've painted it. But yeah, itching to get into this. Okay, so they refer to it on the website as hard foam. But every terrain piece should be made out of this. So it is foam, but it's really hard. So you can sort of carve into it with your finger, try and do it underneath. But on here, it's almost like it's coated in something. So underneath here, foam. On top here, coated, and it's really hard. So if you can hear that, it's really, we're not breaking this. So this is what the door looks like. I'll probably get a better shot of it like so. So this side here is the entrance into your dungeon. So this is outside, so it's all like into a mountainside with some worked columns into there, and we flip it around and we are now inside the dungeon. These are 2 centimeters high tiles, which is cool, and they are 1 inch by 1 inch squares on them. I guess so. It's 2.5 centimeters, but they're standard grid, which is great. And you can just see the detail on here. And the nice thing is already is it's grey out the box. Different tiles. I'll probably next week have a look in next week. I'll cover this. I can show you this in more detail. But it has got. This isn't foam. It's got like a layer of grey paint on it, so it's effectively undercoated for you in grey, which is beautiful because now we can get some paint on it. Which I'm going to just quickly show you this because then we really do want to get to looking at all the stunning stuff that's in us. But hopefully you can see it's so detailed, this stuff. When I got the watchtower, I was blown away by the quality of it. It's light. I mean, I'm trying to. Have I got anything near me that I can compare it to? The thick weight of it? No. Yeah, but it's so light, so sturdy. It's amazing stuff. Just to see this, and I've been interested in the dungeon stuff for a while, so just to see it up close in person is staggering. So that could be the entrance to your dungeon, so your heroes start outside, walking up this path here, ready to enter the dungeon. And then we have her. You can see that she's on a standard 25mm base. So she fits onto the tile lovely, but that's enough. Let's get some paint onto this, just show you how well it takes paint. Okay, so hopefully I'm going to mention this now before we carry on. The offer code that I talked about in the intro. I'll put what it is in the descriptions of this video as well, but the offer code is BBG421, and if you use that you'll get 10% off the products. It's a cave. Let's get some grey onto this. I'm going to dry brush some grey. Oh look, it's already got a nice sort of undercoat of grey on, so I'm just going to come in with a lighter grey. And already you can see here, just because the amount of awesome details on this already, just dry brushing with grey just makes it pop. And if we dry brush the door, I bet you didn't see this when I was showing it off, you got this awesome detailing on this stonework door that you won't see until you dry brush it, and boom, it pops out. So there we go, that's how it's going to look like with just one dry brush of a lighter grey. Again, see that little knotwork there, Northern. Come in, and I'm going to get this path painted in brown. While I've got the brown out, I'm just going to get some watered down brown paint, and I'm just going to paint into the deepest recesses. If you see my recent cavern video, it's the magnetic tile one, you can see how I get some realistic looking caverns built by, it's not grey, you want to break up that grey. So if you watch that video, about to go over it again, while the paint's still wet, you come in with a wet clean brush and you just push the brown round, so you're still leaving heavy brown in the recesses, and then you're moving up to the top, sort of over the grey, end up a nice grey brown on your model. Done the same for the rocky part of the ground here, what I want to be the rocky part of the ground, leaving our dirt base here. Hopefully you can see that, hopefully the camera picks up the colours, that now we've got that, you've got this man-made, or dwarf-made depending, columns and grey door. It's still got sort of a grey mountainside, but it pops out. Hopefully you can sort of see it more here on the other side as well. You know, it's breaking up the fact that it's all grey, and that's what I kind of like doing with my models. And plus, when you look at mountainsides, they're not grey, they're grey, brown, and many other colours. So I'm going to let it dry before we add the next few layers of colour onto it. And this will be the stage where you'll really see all the detail pop. It's a dry brush of tan, and I'm going to do this all over. Do it on the rocks here so you can see it. So bring out that lovely detail. Slightly in here to really bring that out. See, I've done the other side already. It's such an easy material to work with, and the hard work's obviously done for you in all the details there. You've just got to bring it out with your painting. And the last real painting part to do is the floor. Just to break up the grey, I've inspired by my recent video where I painted dungeon tiles inspired by board games such as Hero Quest or Warhammer Quest. I painted it up in much the same way as that. So in this case, it's like a blue-grey. I think this was done using Dark Reaper and then Rust Grey, a dry brush of Rust Grey, and that's the floor done. Just looks nice, breaking up the grey a bit. And now painting's done, a lovely wash all over it in homemade black. This is black ink, water, washing up liquid with a wee bit of brown in it. And you can really see that now all that lovely detail is just really coming out. Try and get the door. You can see all that lovely artwork on that door. And once that's dry, it kind of looks like this. Now, I was going to leave it there because I was sort of planning on making this look like the sort of entrance to the Mines of Moria, where it's sort of very desolate and just rocky, but I think we can push it a bit further, and I'm just going to make this look as best as I can, and we're going to add grass into it and greenery and make it look more like, you know, more, I don't know, lush and vibrant rather than dead and desolate. So let's do that. So water down PVA applied. Add in some flock of your choice. And that already just looks amazing, doesn't it? I mean, just adding a bit of greenery into it. Let's not stop there, let's add a bit more. Some nice static grass. It's going to add in some clump foliage. And this is what it will look like now. I would say this is pretty much done. Nice little entrance to a dungeon here. I say pretty much done, but what about this here? Looks like some sort of pool, get some water in here. It just so happens that years ago I got hold of and bought these from the same company that we're looking at now. So this is how much I do, as I said in the intro, I do generally use their products. These are water drops. I bought these on a whim because I didn't know what they were, and at the time I was a bit apprehensive about mixing two parts up and things. And they're like little crystals that you put into the oven, melt up and pour in. So gonna have a look at these. I've got transparent and ones that are just clear and coloured ones. So I'm probably gonna have a look at the coloured ones maybe and see if we can get like a murky looking pool in there. This is really old, had this for a while, so I'm hoping it still works. I'll have to look at the instructions. We've got these, which are the things I'm imagining you melt. This, I'm imagining hardens, yeah. And we've got some coloured crystals that we add in to colour it. So we've got some brown, blue and green. We need a mixture of these, I'm thinking. We'll have a read up and we'll get using it. So the instructions say to preheat your oven to 170 degrees to 180 degrees, and we can use a heat-proof jar. So I'm using this jam jar. I'm going to pour the water drops into it, and then add in the water drop softener liquid into it. And once that's done, I'm going to put it onto a heat-proof container here, just in case something happens. I don't want sort of resin liquid in my oven. And once I've done that, I'm just going to put it in the oven and set the timer for just over 40 minutes. And I'll have a look at it at the end of the timer. And in the time, it will look something like this. It will go a nice sort of liquid consistency, really nice and thin. Apparently got 3 to 4 minutes working time, so I want to pour it in, but beforehand I'm going to add some colour into it. So I'm going to use these brown drops, and I'm also going to add in some green drops. So I want this to be a really sort of stagnant, murky water. And using a metal spoon, just stir that up and mix it up. Once it has been mixed, I can pour using some oven gloves, because this jar is still very hot. I can just pour it into the pool here, and it pours really easy. I guess at this stage, apart from the heat, there's not much difference to resin, normal two parts resin. And whilst I'm here, I've had this fountain for a good long while, and it's always needed some water, so I'm going to add some into this fountain. And then once it's set, you might get some air bubbles as it's setting, so I'm just going to come in with a heat source and pop them. It's quite easy. You might want to use a hairdryer rather than a naked flame. And that's it. It's set. Apparently the stuff that remains in the jar you can reheat and reliquefy and pour in the future, so I'm going to put a lid on this and keep it for another project in the future where I need some murky green water. I've fallen in love with this stuff. I think it's amazing. I've had it for so long. One thing to note, yes, I'm going to let my oven vent because there is a bit of an odour when I was doing it. But yeah, I've had this stuff for so long. I've never used it, so don't know why, but I thought it was brilliant. I just found it really easy to use. I'm always a bit apprehensive. I've never used mixed up resin for water because I'm always worried about getting the ratios right. But this, don't have to. It just put it in the oven and, well, hey, you've got this lovely water effect. The piece we've just been looking at and working at is called the Dark City Dungeon module Rockgate, and then on top of that you can get hold of sort of standalone modules for the dungeon, and this one we're looking at now is the Dunkelstadt Dungeon Element Type 10, base height 20 mil, so that's referring to how high it is here. So this has the grid already drawn in, as we've seen already at the entrance to the dungeon from the last one. This is part of the set I'm obviously sending back, so this has been painted. Yours will come unpainted as we've seen in the first one, so I want to show you that first. So we have this, yeah, so it's 20 mil high and 190 by 190 width and height, or basically 7 inches by 7 inches. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. So it's nice. Got hard stone foam surface like the other one's made of. Just really is my favourite material for store-bought terrain. Resin's too brittle and heavy. I just really love this. So yeah, that's what it looks like. They also sent me Element Type 8, which is very similar, just a plain dungeon, but it's higher, so you can get a bit higher into your dungeons. It'll go like that. We'll be looking at other accessories soon. So we got some height going on. I'm going to be running out of room real quickly. Next up, we're going to look at module type 10 as it's listed. This is the Octarian teleport field, so it's got this lovely engraved teleport field onto it. You can see here, and that is engraved in this here. See that here, got all these lovely lines. It's 20 mil height. and that will just fit in perfectly with your dungeon. So you put them together. Oh, I've already got a lovely dungeon going on here. Square dungeon encounter. Perhaps you've got to get to the teleport, close it, or use it, operate it to escape. That is great. So we have that. Next up, we're going to look at Type 9. This has a little sort of pool in it. It looks like that. So has the same sort of pattern as bricks as what we got in our previous tiles. It just marries up really nice. But it also has some plain ones similar to our previous ones, some plain flagstones. But these form, so that would marry up really nice. But this one has a little pool in it. So we can see here, there's pool in, so you can add some latex into that and get a nice pool. Again, reiterate that these have been sent to me pre-prepped already. They'll be quite plain. You have to do some work, so you know, I quite like that. You have to do some work yourself. Why not? It makes terrain building is fun. Sometimes things like this you just want to quickly slap down and get a dungeon on the go, like so. So you can see here, perhaps build up an epic dungeon. It's just great stuff. What about elements with rooms, with walls in and stuff? Well, you can have them done as well. So it comes all pre-done with a little room like this. This looks like element 2, looking at the website. So it has an entrance here and an entrance there. Again, we can have a look at the nice wall detail here. And just how good they look with just a little bit of care and effort put into in presentation, how they look. And so similar is going to be element type 3. So it's another room with 2 entrances in, but they're sort of slightly different to these entrances. So you can see here, you got different entrances coming and going here. Element 6 has a wall in, which is great for putting up here and forming a whole large room. Difficult getting this all in. So you know, you end up with this wicked sort of dungeon type room, really easy throwing down. They've added some detail in here. So just quickly add those in and boom, you've got sort of spooky type room going on. Again, I just love playing around with these, just getting different configurations of room really easy. Here, for instance, 4 tiles, 4 rooms. It also looks like we've got element type 1 with an entrance here and an entrance here, so we can put that here into a massive epic dungeon. So by doing that, you can see that we form a corridor. So you have room, corridor, room, 2 corridors here, corridor there. So you can have 3 rooms in a row. Perhaps we can put that here like so, and you're getting quick and easy rooms set up with walls. So there's the rooms, and with this as well, you have 4 room pieces, a corridor piece. See, you could line up like so. Put that in here. You know, I can play around with this stuff for ages, building configurations of dungeons up. Let's just see if I can zoom out a bit to go to here. So, you know, we've got easy configurations of dungeons, but that's not all. There's still more, loads more. Let's throw in element 12 into the mix, which has sort of smashed in a bit of a wall that's smashed in, so there's not an entrance there normally, but there is now. Something's made smashed its way in, some sort of dungeon monster troll type thing. So you can add that into your room here. You get your figures in here, or perhaps we can. So perhaps there was a doorway into this room and Zach smashed its way out. It's just infinitely configurable, this stuff. You just throw it around, lay out your room. It's just so cool. So cool. Perhaps we got. Sure, DMs are probably looking at this thinking, wow, the amount of rooms and stuff I can do with this quickly and easily is just staggering, mind-boggling. And you'd be right. Just from there, you've got stuff and going on. It sort of tells its own story. I'm like a kid in a playground at the moment. That's not all. About some stairs. Got these, so you can see here. Stairs going on. It's a bit caverny here, which I quite like. So perhaps you're coming up from the depths of the lower dungeons, the lower caverns, into this upper dungeon level. And we're just going to instantly come into here. Have that as a passageway there. It's just so fun to play with. To set up. I'm going to have a better look at it when I set it up on the big board later on, but boom, we have this epic dungeon set up, but there's still more. Overwhelmed. Okay, let's get some sort of encounter going on. What about a circular rotating room? Yep, got one of those too. So this would form there, and perhaps you adventurers enter it and it just spins them around 90 degrees and they come round a maze. Perhaps there's a puzzle to solve that will do it. So this just comes in two parts like so. So you have your upper part, nice little statue detail here of a lion statue. Here, nice pillars. And this bit is just great because it's even got some sort of cogs, just adding a bit of detail into it. And has 4 exits potentially for this one. So we get into the last room, but not the end of everything that was sent. But so in this one, what about a final showdown encounter? Perhaps you want it in some sort of crystal grotto. We'll do that as well. Look at this. So here we have, it's larger than the other rooms. So this is the standard room you get. So but it still matches up with them. So you could have your entrance to the grotto coming in here like so. Try and get some of that lovely detail in here. Overpaint this good because they've got some light source being emitted here. You can see that on the torches here. Way better than what I could paint them. So I like that. Crystals are glowing. Got some skulls. I think what I want to do with this one is just change the focus so we can have a nice look at it. So yeah, it's getting close and personal with it. So we've got stairs here. See all the detail on the blocks, and definitely do love whoever painted this. Just noticed that light being emitted to here. It's tricky. Pool here, you could stick some UV, not UV, some resin in. Looks like there was some in there, but it's probably gone the way resin does. And this could be a final boss encounter. As you enter, that should be a warning. There's a previous adventurer or adventurers with these skulls here. I've tried to combat whatever's in here. Perhaps it's a big monster going by the skull here. There is, looks like an entrance to an underground cave there, stairs going down, yet more skulls, and it's just amazing. It's just really cool piece of kit. For the price of this stuff, I'm blown away, and plus even cheaper at the moment with our 10% discount they're offering viewers of the channel. Kindly, you can see the entrance to it here has some torches. Okay, so we've got our dungeon tile. You got rooms and all bits and pieces like that. But what if you don't want the rooms to look like that? What do? Well, easy. They sell wall pieces, individual wall pieces that you can add in a configuration of room any way you want, kind of thing. So I'm just quickly showing you these. These aren't glued in, but you could get yours, glue them in, and you know you've got your own room. They sell them 3 of these in a pack, so you'd get 3 wall pieces. They are, yes, that way autofocus will focus in. They are nicely detailed, and these are made out of a resin. So these are the room pieces. Yeah, and so you can use these to close off doors on the wall pieces as well. Brilliant. So they thought of everything. So just because they sell pre-done rooms doesn't mean that's all you're limited to. But what about doors? They've got you covered there as well, because they sell doors here. So you can see these doors again. Once again, they're resin, and they are highly detailed. This lovely little work here. Come in packs of 2, and you can utilise these either to glue onto the board or just put on to represent that's where a door is. So we have something that looks like that. And you can see how well they paint up just looking at these here. Just stunningly stunning stuff. So an interesting product they do, so meet our firewalls. So if there is a fire blazing in a wall, you've got these firewall pieces. They're the same dimension as your normal wall bits. So you've got a wall, let's put 2 on just for demonstration purposes. I don't know, let's say somehow the wall catches fire. Boom, firewall. Once more, these are resin, same dimensions as the wall, and nicely detailed. So remember earlier when we had 2 heights of the platform, one was 40, one was 20. How are we going to get up there? Well, they also do stairs, a little stairway section, so you can put that here so you can get from one level to the next. Do a range of different stairs. There's so much there on the website. I mean, it looks like I've got a lot that was sent to me, but there's even more on the website when I was looking into this for research on this video. But yeah, we've got stairs here, and of course you can also use them to get from here to there as well, interestingly. Or you could put 2 together and form a little platform, like so. So we've got floor, rooms, walls, doors, stairs, but be a bit empty in the dungeon. So, but they've got you covered here as well, because they do little dungeon accessory furniture pieces. As we can see here, we've got a lovely sort of bookcase, which is so detailed, so lovely. Little chalice here, top corner, chest, scroll. Got this one. Great for Hero Quest if you want to swap out your furniture in Hero Quest. We got sort of a storage shelf here with a dragon's head, some skulls, perhaps good for a wizard type place. These could contain creatures, these little cages here. They all fit together lovely, as we can see at the back here. Got this one. camera is just refusing to focus. With as it focused, just looked at this little creature mouse thing poking out with its cage. Have this head. Oh, this one, the head looks gross. Skulls, containers. That's amazing. That's my favourite so far. This one, lots of potions and jars, skulls. Gotta have skulls with a candle on. I don't know what's in there, but I wouldn't want to eat it. How about this one? This one has a container of just scrolls in. More jars. Box here. Just fantastic. How about this here? I like this because it has barrels of beer. I'm sure that's some good German beer in there. Some lovely bits and pieces, possibly for a kitchen or a pub or tavern. Very useful. So that's what it has. Lovely detailing work here. Given that, so we have that there. What about? Return to a hero quest, I guess. A sort of weapons rack storage space. More flower, axes, halberd, shields, swords, helmets. And lovely wood green work here. And like before, these are all resin. Okay, yeah, okay. Little cupboard chest thing here. Again, if you want to swap out your hero quest furniture. I know over the coming year, this year, I'll be buying some these accessory bits. These are just great for if you're in a dungeon. You can throw these down. It's even going to be good for stuff like Advanced Hero Quest. Another little cupboard here with some glass panes in up here. And speaking of things like Hero Quest once more, how about an altar? This has the book in, candle. And again, whoever painted this, I enjoy the painting because that actually looks like marble. I don't think I could paint it as good as that. If anyone knows of a good marble painting tutorial, let me know in the comments. Okay, and returning to the kitchen, we have this little bit of bacon being cooked here on top of this lovely spit roast fire. Pig roasting over some coals on a lovely fireplace here with this lovely hood on the fire. That is just great. And finally, just a fireplace with some bellows, this hood, the wall. That is superb. So that's all the pieces that we got to look at. So before I set it up on the table, we have a nice little look at it all set up and see it all together. I just want to take the time to say thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, have a like, and if you do want to make use of that promo code, it's BBG421. Head over to their website and have a purchase of some stuff. They got other ranges of stuff there as well, which we're going to look at some more in the upcoming weeks. Look at some buildings next week, but yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you use the code BBG421 for 10% off. And now let's have a look at it all set up. Our heroes have reached the dungeon door. The dwarf mutters, "I hope this is not one of those speak friend and enter dealios." They enter and emerge in a vast hallway. They head towards a well in the floor. "Best not drink this water," the elf exclaims. Realizing this is not the way to go, they turn the other direction. The other direction led to a place of magical power. The evil radiated from the symbol upon the floor. The wizard warned the others not to tread upon it. The stairs led to the foul wizard Zagar's chambers. The companions sensed something magical coming from the fire. "Watch out!" the elf shouted. Suddenly, a wall of fire burst from the fireplace. "We've got to get out of here." "Back down the stairs, quickly!" "Yes, this looks like the way. We can see the beast's lair ahead." "Wait, what's happening? The room's turning!" "Which way now?" This direction seems to lead us back to the beginning. Whereas this direction just does not feel right. It's rotating once more. "Quickly, let's get out of the room before it spins again. Quick, down the stairs to the beast's lair."